Hello. You guys have submitted some amazing questions for MythBusters, and I'm going to answer them. But I thought at the very beginning I'd do just a little bit of a show and tell about some shop tools. I have covered these wonderful objects in the past. They are known as 1, 2, 3 blocks. And you can pick up a pair of these for under $20. They are used by machinists for setting things up. Sometimes for setting stuff up for measuring, sometimes for machining. And if you're using these in a high precision environment, you would buy them in what's called a matched pair, where they've been carefully ground to within microns of each other, if even less than that. But you can also buy regular plus or minus 1 thou, like really close, on Amazon for $20, and they're fantastic. I have 8 or 10 of them in the shop. Recently, I was watching, I can't remember whose channel it was, but I saw some extra large 1, 2, 3 blocks, and I thought, I've got to investigate some of those. And that's when I discovered 2, 4, 6 blocks. Wait a minute. I think this is 2, 3, 4. That's it. This is a 2, 3, 4 block. 2, 3, 4 block. 2, 3, 4 block. 2, 3, 4 block. That's a good tongue twister. These, just like the 1, 2, 3 blocks, some of the holes are actually none of the holes are tapped on the, oh no, some of the holes are tapped and some of them are not. They again, same price differential goes. You can buy a cheap pair and they'll be within X, and you can buy a high precision pair, which will cost a multiple of 4 or 5 times the cheap pair, but they will be exceedingly accurate to each other. I love these. Frankly, sometimes I just use these as weights for holding stuff down. And these are so nice that I actually ended up building a cabinet to store my machining stuff so that it didn't keep getting dusty, and then I have to keep cleaning it before every time I used it. The 2, 3, 4 blocks make me very happy. And then I discovered another one. I was watching This Old Tony video, and out of the corner of my eye, I spotted this. Now this is a, wait, I can actually measure this. This is a, what is this? This is a 10, 20, 40. Yeah, this is a 10, 20, 40 millimeter block. And they make me so happy. So I wrote to Tony and I said, where did you get these? And he said he got them from a site. We'll include a link when we air this video on a European site. I bought 4 pairs because they were relatively inexpensive. Oh, and I made this little wooden holder for them. I know I did all that off camera. Hold on. Sorry. The rains came in January in San Francisco, and that means the pollen bloom is following close on their heels, and it's been wrecking my face. Yay! Sorry, 10, 20, 40 millimeter blocks. So now we have, oh, look at this. Dude, doesn't that just make you happy looking at it? It does me, seriously. That is just like, that is freaking fantastic. Yeah. So, yeah, there's my little show and tell. 1, 2, 3 blocks come in many different sizes. I'll bet there's even a bigger one than this. Oh, no, that's just dust. All right. Shall we get into it? Excellent. Once again, everyone's questions about MythBusters are really wonderful. I'm continually answering questions I've never answered before. And I will point out to you that MythBusters aired 19 years ago last month. That is when the pilot for MythBusters aired. And the first question is actually germane to the pilot. Phil Barbarossa, I prefer that. Phil Barbarossa says, I recently rewatched the first 3 episodes of MythBusters. So those would be the pilots we shot in the in the early and midsummer of 2002. he was surprised to see how much I used my own car, the very Volkswagen Jetta, I believe, for the exploding biscuit myth. Now, this myth is about a person that thinks they got shot in the back of their head, but what in fact happened was that they had a big bag of groceries in the back of a hot car and a tin of biscuit dough, right, in the cardboard package that you put in your freezer. A tin of biscuit dough got hot enough to burst one of the caps off and hit the guy in the back of the head, and then he felt the back of his head. He felt all this like warm, gooey stuff and thought his brains were coming out. It sounds crazy now, but it's one of the first 9 myths we tested on MythBusters. So Phil Barbarossa asks, how much did you and Jamie use personal equipment on the show for myths? Constantly. Yeah, all the time. I mean, look, Jamie and I are production problem solvers. All of us are production problem solvers. Carrie, Tori, Grant, Scotty, Jesse. And when you're solving a problem, nobody was precious about it. If a piece of our own equipment was the best one to use, we would just use it. Of course, as the show progressed, we had more of a budget. So in the beginning days, absolutely, we were on a shoestring. I mean, I think some myths only cost a couple $100. Many cost a lot more. But we totally used our own equipment. That Jetta, that was a great car. Drove really well. The windows broke. They cost a fortune to replace. And so I ended up having to do it. My Jetta windows. Could I go off on a rant about the mechanics for Jetta windows? Like everyone in the world, the automatic window of a car is, as far as I'm concerned, a solved problem. And you have a gear and an arm and it works. So why would Volkswagen go to a cable-driven system that is completely customized to each car? Like when you go look at the OEM parts, I think the repair for each door was in the hundreds of dollars just for the parts to repair, and then another couple $100 for the labor. It made me mad. But I digress. Clinton Anderson wants to know, is there anything left to be said about Barrel of Bricks? I have a soft spot for that episode because it's the first one I ever saw, and as a pub folk musician, he's been singing the sick note, i.e. the bricklayer song, for decades. The Barrel of Bricks myth is a famous story about a guy attempting to lower a barrel of bricks from the roof. So he's got a pulley going to the top of some scaffolding, and he's pulled an empty barrel up there, and another guy's loaded that barrel with bricks, and now the guy on the bottom is going to lower it down. But the barrel of bricks is heavier than the guy lowering it. So the moment it's released, it comes and falls, and the guy, boom, hits the barrel of bricks. The barrel of bricks, it hits him on the way down, boom, and continues to drag him to the top. Then the barrel hits the ground at the same time the guy hits the top pulley, breaks open, releases its bricks. So now the guy is heavier than the barrel, and the barrel and the guy meet again, boom, on the barrel's way up and the guy's way down, and he hits the ground and lets go of the string, and then the barrel ends up falling on him. It's a spectacular story. I do have, so we set it up in a abandoned Bay Area military base that still requests that they remain unnamed. Take your pick. We shot this on a military base. We had a 6-story building to set it up against, and we set up some scaffolding, and we set up the story. We had barrels. We got some Cooper supplies and ropes and pulleys, and I think that was I think we were using the original crash test dummy Buster. It was a Hybrid 2 dummy. And the most amazing thing to me about Barrel of Bricks is that we got it to work at all. Like when you think through the logistics of what's supposed to happen, it is a whoop, boom, bang, release, bang, boom, release, bang. That is a lot to happen. And, you want to set it up like dominoes, so it just goes. And I feel like Barrel of Bricks is one of those episodes at the beginning of our tenure that was way harder than we realized it was. Because if you asked me to do that now, I'd be like, I don't think I could do that in 2 days. But back then we were like, yeah, we totally do that. It's amazing to me that with my institutional knowledge, I feel like it's less likely now that I could do that stunt than 20 years ago when I first did it. And I feel like that's the knowledge I now have of how difficult that stunt is. I was lucky enough to not realize how tough that was going to be. I think we had a couple of contingency plans for if it didn't work, but dude, it worked on like the 4th try or something like that. That's just insanity. What a beautiful, beautiful high-speed shot that was. Yeah. Bricklayer's song is great. Keep singing it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a tested member. Details are, of course, below, but it includes all sorts of perks, and we're building them all the time. You get advanced word and behind-the-scenes photos of some of our projects. Questions, you get to ask direct questions during my live streams, and we have some members-only videos, including the Adam real-time series of unbroken, unedited shots of me working here in the shop. They are weirdly meditative. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.